Hi guys, it's Rob from Royal Balls. A lot of you have asked for some more recent breeder stuff, so I thought today, since I've just done the first of my April pairings, I had 10 pairings, we'll follow 3 of those pairings from start to finish, and I'm going to show you how I introduce males, what I look out for during the pairing and when I remove them. And the method that I'm employing is what I'm calling the TOR method. It's the Tully's Outrageous Royals, and Joe Tully from Joe Tully's Outrageous Royals taught me this, so I take absolutely no credit whatsoever. We've seen on my free roaming videos males that are absolutely hyper with breeding hormones, and when you touch them they're very, very sensitive to touch, and we use that using the TOR method when we introduce the males into the tub to gain some more information about how the pairing is likely to go. Now, I have been out in the jungle this morning on my enduro bike, so I'm going to put some extra footage and show you guys some of the Malaysian jungle north of Kuala Lumpur where I was out this morning. You're going to see some blood. That's where the leech attached itself, and I didn't feel a thing until it fell off. There are links in the description below to the video where Joe Tully outlines the method that he uses for introducing males, so you can all go over there and watch that. He takes full credit for this method, and go over and subscribe. He's got some fantastic content. So without further ado, let's have a look at the pairings. Okay, I've got my April pairings to do here, so I've got my pairings book with the list of all the pairings that I need to do, and I thought what I'd do for you guys here is just walk you through the first few pairings, how I put the males in with the females. I take no credit for this method. This is the TOR method. I'll put a reference in the description below to the video that Joe talks about this method, but I learnt this from him. So let's crack on with the first few pairings. We're going to pair Iron Man Light, Leopard Enchi Orange Dream Clown, and I pull the tub out and you can see that this guy is already awake. It is 8 o'clock at night and I'm just going to test him for responsiveness, and you can see he's shoving my finger away here. This guy has been on the ball for the last few weeks, so he's quite responsive, and he is going to be paired to this female here, which is my Pastel Spot Nose Vanilla Yellow Belly Het for Clown. She is still eating, massive girl. Here she is. So there's the female. You can see that she is very bright, she's glowing, and she is building to quite some size. So she was paired last month to the same guy, so let's just do this pairing here. So I'm going to pick up the male and I'm just going to put him on the lip of the tub here, the female's tub, and just watch what he does. So he smells the female, and in he goes. This guy's quite keen to get in there. He's already started brushing up against the female, and you can see her flinching. You can see how tactile this whole thing is. She's actually huge. She's got to be quite close to ovulating. So this guy has got to get in the tub here and dominate her for the time it takes to get the mating done. You can see that he's still bucking my finger here. You see how he's coiling his body around her body? He's already actually assuming the dominant position here. He hasn't even got in the tub yet. I need him to go in so that I can close the tub. But you can see he's already started to climb on top of this female. Look at him arching his back. See the arching of his back here. Okay, so he is very sensitive here, very reactive. So I expect these guys will actually lock up, and I'll check them later tonight, but we'll close the tub. And we put on a tag. This black and yellow tag here just lets me know that there is a male in this female's tub. And I put the male's tub back here and leave it open so that I know that male is in with the female. And I log him in with a date on my breeding book. I will make a note of whether he locks, and when he comes out I will log him out. So let's do the next one. What am I going to do? Firefly entry, yes, here we go. Let me do this one. So we do the same with this guy, and you can instantly see that this guy is on high alert. This is my Firefly Enchi clown, and he is going in with my Yellow Belly Vanilla Het for clown. He is extremely reactive already. I don't need to touch this guy to show you that he is very, very reactive. This guy is good to go. So here is the female that he's going in with. And this girl has been paired for quite some time. She looks to be still building, but she's taking her own sweet time about doing it. So let me bring the male over, if I can get him out. Very reactive to touch again. You see he's arching his back. So let's get him out. And we'll put him on the lip of the tub here and let him smell the female. This does take a little while longer than just plonking them in the tub, but you get some extra information as the male goes in as to how this pairing is going to go. So we take our time. And you see the female flinch. She is using exactly the same shrugging behaviour as the male uses. And this guy is not so keen. Come on, you need to go in there. That's where the job is. You can see how jerky the female is, and look at her wagging her tail now. Look at her tail wagging. In goes the male. So again, I think we're going to have a lock here. Look at the female wagging her tail. This female is quite receptive. If you've never seen that before, this is what females do, and she'll be scent marking the whole time that she's doing this. You see the male assuming the dominant position. He is on the top. So again, we'll close the tub, put on a tag that tells me there's a male in with this female, and the male tub we'll put back here. We'll leave it open. Another stamp in the book. We'll just do one more. My Enchi Cypress Ivory male, and he is also awake. Let's just test him. Yes, you can see how sensitive he is. Look at him shrugging my finger off there. He's arching his back. So this guy is good to go, and he's going to go in with this female down here. This female is a very big girl, spinner or spider pinstripe, and she is glowing. She's much brighter than normal. So we take the male and we go through the same process again. Put him on the lip of the tub. And this guy is really hot to trot. This guy is going in there really quickly. Okay, so this guy is in there like a shot. That's very enthusiastic. Okay, so again, that is looking good. We'll shut the lid. And there's a male in that tub. My system here. We put the tub and leave it open in the rack. So that's the first three pairings. I've got a bunch more to do this evening, but we'll come back and follow these three in particular. So I'm going to go through the rest of my pairings now, doing exactly the same thing, introducing the male the TOR way. Okay, so it's about 9:30, about an hour and a half after first introduction. I do actually have 10 pairings tonight, and I'm gonna check them all before I go to bed, but we're just following the first three that I introduced. So let's take a look at Iron Man. He was a bit reluctant to go into the tub, a little bit slow, but he was dominant when he went in, so let's just have a quick look. and the female actually is trying to get out of the tub, so no lock here, but she isn't actually kicking him out, so we'll leave them for the night. She's actually very close to ovulation, so that could be the reason why she's not so keen. But you'll notice the tub is wet. She has peed. And then we'll have a look at the firefly Enchi again. He was a bit reluctant to go in, but she was very keen, wagging her tail. And again she's peed, but there's no action here, so we'll leave those two. And the Enchi Cypress Ivory, who couldn't wait to get in there, he was in there like a shot. And look at that, guys, he's in the dominant position and he's stroking the female down at the rear end there. You can see his rear end is on top. So this pairing is actually going very well, as you would expect from the speed that he went into the tub. So that's awesome. We'll check on them in the morning. And in the meantime I'll check the other 7 pairings. They were actually much keener to go in the tub, and I think we'll be good there. So let me get on and check the rest. Okay, this is the morning. Let's check the 3 pairings that we're following. Let's check Iron Man first, see what we can see. And they are locked. You can see Iron Man in the dominant position. And there is a lock back there behind the water bowl. So that's one, and this was the most reluctant of the males. Check the firefly Enchi, and I can see he's on top, that's good. And there's a lock. He is in the dominant position on top of the female, and there is the lock. So that's 2 out of the 3. And now let's have a look at the Enchi Cypress Ivory in with the spinner female, and he was the one that was really hot to trot to get in there. And I'm not sure that's a lock. He's lined up for sure. There you go, and he is on top. He's in the dominant position, so they either have locked or they're about to lock. But isn't that interesting? Of the 3, he was the keenest to get in, and he is the one that has not yet, or maybe he already has, done the business. So there we go, guys, midday on the same day, and these guys are actually now locked. So here we are, guys, it's 8 o'clock in the evening. We're approaching 24 hours now since the introduction, and since all of these snakes actually have already locked, I'm now looking to see when I need to rescue the male. So let's have a look and see how they're doing. So we'll check Ironman first, and what I'm looking for here is a role reversal where the female is now dominating the male. The job's been done. If they've unlocked and the female is dominating the male, it's time to get him out. Even though it's only taking 24 hours, these snakes have all already locked. Okay, so there they are. There's the male, and they are actually still locked. This is quite common. So these guys have been locked for about 12 hours. Obviously I'm not going to pull them out right now, so we'll leave these for a second night. Let's have a look at the Firefly Enchi Clown. And yes, they are still locked. In fact, they haven't moved for about 12 hours. So obviously I'm not going to split these guys up either. And let's have a look at our third pairing out of 10 that I've done, and so far 8 of them have actually locked. But let's have a look at the third one that we were looking at. This is the Enchi Cypress Ivory that went into the female's tub like a shot. And yes, they are also still locked. You can see the male's tail underneath and the female's tail on top, and the male is still in the dominant position. So again, we're going to leave these for another night. Alright, so I now have 7 more snakes to check, and I'll be doing exactly the same thing. If I do see a role reversal, I will pull the male snake from the tub, and I'll show you a photograph of that if I have to do it. There were 2 snakes that were not locked, one of which did not look positive, and the other one which needed probably more time, and I'll take photographs of those to show you guys as well what I'm looking for when I'm pulling a snake and rescuing it from the pairing, either before or after the job is done. Alright guys, so these were locked earlier this morning, and the male has unlocked. He is still in the dominant position. There has not yet been a role reversal, but I can see that they are no longer locked. So this male is going to come out. There is no point in keeping him in any longer. An additional lock will not help. He's already done the business. He's unlocked, and let's get him out and save his strength. So there you can see in the book I logged the male in on the 5th of April, pastel leopard to the ODYB male. I've noted a lock, and I've logged him out just 24 hours later on the 6th of April. Alright, let's check these guys at the end of the second night, so about 36 hours after they were introduced. So let's check on Iron Man. And my goodness me, they are still locked. The Firefly Enchi Clown. And these guys have now actually unlocked. So before it gets too stressful, I'll pull him out. I like to get my males out as soon as the job is done, avoiding stress on both the snakes. So let's lift him out. Okay, so he's out. I'll remove the tag, close her tub, and in my book we stamp him out. So he was stamped in, locked, stamped out. And the last one of the three is the Cypress Ivory with the spinner. And they are also no longer locked, so he can also come out. Even though he's still actually dominant, the female has not kicked him out yet. We're going to remove him so that we minimise stress. So off comes the tag. And we'll just pull him out. He goes back into his own tub. These guys will all be fed tomorrow. They have work to do again next week. So there's the female. It would not surprise me if this girl ovulated pretty soon. She's glowing. Sometimes getting that last lock in actually pushes them into ovulation, so we'll rest her. And again, Cypress Ivory. We book him out, so in on the 5th, locked, and out on the morning of the 7th. So even though it's only been 36 hours, and I know traditionally people like to leave them in for 3 days, the job's already done. There's no point in leaving him in any longer. Let me just check the others, and again I'm looking for role reversals. They've all locked. I'm looking for a female that has rejected the male and wants him gone, and I'll take a picture of that if I find one. And this is absolutely perfect, guys. Just hours after I took that Cypress Ivory male out, this female is ovulating. She's just started to ovulate. I did notice when I pulled the male out, but that often happens when a female is really close and you put a male in with her. She actually ovulates straight away. You can see the swelling here in the midsection, and her tail is hooked around. You can see the lower portion of her body there is all sucked in compared to the midsection. Let me just see if I can lift her tail without... I don't know whether you can see that, guys. That's just the start of the ovulation here. You can see the V in the tail there. There, she's having trouble bending in the middle. So we'll come back later and have another look at this girl. (1:30) on day 2. And they have already unlocked. Now you see how the female has completely dominated the male. She's squashing him to the back of the tub. So he's done and she wants him gone. So let's rescue him before he gets too stressed. But you see the role reversal? The female is now in the dominant position and she has completely pinned the male to the bottom of the tub. So we need to rescue him. So there we go, he's out, back in his own tub, and I'll refresh this tub sometime tomorrow. I won't disturb her for now. Okay guys, there we go. Full-blown ovulation. That is really obvious now. And this is in the evening, just 12 hours after the Enchicyprus ivory was taken out. So I'll just leave this girl to get on with it, but there you go, that's another ovulation. It looks very uncomfortable. And here's another role reversal on one of my other pairings. You can see the female fire clown is totally pinning to the bottom of the tub this poor old vanilla crystal male, so it's time to get him out and rescue him. So of the 10 pairings, 7 out of 10 were successful. The 3 we followed were obviously successful, and we saw an ovulation as well. So after 2 nights, all but 2 of the pairings had already been split up, and the remaining 2 were split up on the 3rd morning. So this week's pairings are done. Alright guys, so we also were lucky enough to capture an ovulation in that footage, which was absolutely awesome. Sometimes you time a pairing and it's the last lock before the female is going to ovulate, and that last lock often induces the ovulation, and in this case that's exactly what it did. So I hope you found that useful, informative. Stay tuned because it's feeding day today. I've got a bunch of African soft furs waiting outside, and we're going to feed the hatchlings, including this guy here that didn't eat last week. So stay tuned for that. I'll have an update after feeding. I fully expect that he's going to eat this weekend. I'll have quite a long update on the hatchling video for you guys coming up soon. I've also got some stuff on my incubator and another terrarium update on this girl here, since she has had a significant behavioural change. So stay tuned for all of that. They're coming up shortly. I have just a little bit of editing to do. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the extra footage. It's how I spend my spare time. That's where we got to get off. All right, let's have a crack at this. Heavy overnight rain meant that the jungle was very, very steamy. and when conditions are very humid like that, an occupational hazard is leeches. And you can see blood here from a leech that had filled itself up and then fallen off. You don't feel a thing, you only notice afterwards. Okay guys, and just a quick reference to Justin Kabelka's most recent video on breeding ball pythons, 5 pointers on how to successfully breed ball pythons. And yes, there are the 5 steps, but oh, if only it were that simple.